These are the materials you're going to need to mount your cam to the pole or the fence. So first we have this mounting plate, and you can see the orientation is this side up and the flat side is facing out. We have the hex screwdriver, the Allen key. You will have several zip ties, 2 of these long clamps, and of course your cam itself that's already attached to the solar panel. Let's go ahead and prepare this mounting plate for your pole, tree, or fence. So start with your clamp and make sure the screw is oriented facing downward. So then you're going to just thread this metal through these 2 holes, and don't worry if it takes you a second, sometimes they can get a little bit stuck. And you're gonna push this thread all the way through till there's only about a third left. Go ahead and take your second clamp and make sure it's oriented with the screw facing downward. Then you're gonna take this second one and again, just thread it through. Don't worry if it takes you a minute to actually get it through. Push it all the way through. And then you have your mounting plate, again, facing upward. The flat side is facing out, and it's now threaded with your 2 clamps. All right, let's go ahead and secure your mounting plate to your pole or your fence. So the orientation is this side up and the flat side is facing outward. We want to place this roughly at head height. That's about 5 to 6 feet. And in terms of the location, we want it facing south or west for as much sun exposure as possible, ideally about 3 hours a day minimum. So start with this very top thread, and you're going to push it through this clamp. And notice if the screw drops, it's gonna lock it in place. So in order to push the thread through, I'm gonna hold this screw up, and now I can move this thread really nicely through this clamp. Now I'm gonna push this screw down and grab my hex screwdriver to tighten it. And this is just hand tightening to the right. And we can tighten this again later, but this is just to hold it in place now. That's good for now. So let's go ahead and grab the second thread, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna push it through the clamp, and we're gonna keep this screw oriented upwards because if it drops down, it's gonna lock it into place. So keeping it up means we can push this thread through. I'm gonna pull this as tight as possible, push this screw down, and again, grab my hex screwdriver, hand tighten in place, righty-tighty. We want this really secure because it's what's holding your cam, which weighs about 11 pounds. So I'm just gonna crank these down, just hand tightening. Now you can see this is really secure. This should be good. As you notice, there's some extra thread hanging out. If this is gonna be in your way or bother you, feel free to go ahead and just bend it back to get it out of your way. And you can use these zip ties that we're providing you and just go ahead and zip tie these extra metal thread parts just to kind of get it out of your way if you prefer. We can do this bottom one too. All right, so now your mounting plate is really secure to your pole or your fence, and it's about head height. The orientation looks great, and it's facing the sun as much as possible. All right, we're now ready to secure your cam to your polar fence. To hold the cam, you can just hold it by this box here, and to set it down, place it really carefully on its backside here. Just being really careful to not set it down directly on the air inlet here, and to protect the solar panel by not placing the solar panel directly on the ground. We're gonna actually start by removing these two screws here. You can use the bottom end of your Allen key. So we're taking out both the screw and the washer, and we're gonna reuse these in just a second. So put them somewhere secure. Taking out both of them. Okay, so you can pick up your cam and notice that there's this mounting bracket on the back of the cam, and this bracket is going to slide perfectly into the mounting plate. So come to your mounting plate, and you're just going to slide this all the way down. And then we need to make sure that these holes on the cam align with the holes for the screw. So we're going to get those lined up. Go ahead and grab your first screw and washer. And if for some reason you've dropped this and you can't find it, no worries. We'll give you a few extra screws and washers in case you've lost anything, so don't stress at all about that. And these holes have to be pretty well lined up in order to get this screw back securely into place. Make sure the washer is still on the screw as well. And we want to go in nice and straight. If it doesn't feel like it's going in easily, then it's probably out of alignment a little bit. So you can just pull it out and try again. This is just hand tightening. All right, your cam looks really great now. It's fully secure to your polar fence. If you're with me this far, really good job. We are now ready to sample.